Hello, you'll be working on some critical essays this semester in your course, Bread and Circuses. And I put together this video associated with a PowerPoint that Dr. Finling actually put together in order to sort of help you get started and think about how you might approach these critical essays. So let's go ahead. Excuse me, let's see, here we go, and off we go. So there are three critical essays due this term. One is on Antigone. That's the one that's due first. One is on Hopkins, Keith Hopkins, who's written on gladiators from his book Death and Renewal. And the final one is from a book called Will in the World. And this is about William Shakespeare and how the city of London had influence upon his work. Right? Remember, we're looking at the city and art and entertainment. So thinking about how in each of these, Antigone represents Athens, gladiators, Rome, and Shakespeare, London. So how are we going to get started? First off, for your essay assignments, please read the instructions. Take your time, read them again. Read the assigned materials associated with each essay. For Antigone, read that play. For Hopkins, read that essay that he wrote on gladiators, etc. And then, meet your deadlines. Deadlines are tough, deadlines are difficult, and especially in an online class when everything else is going on, it's hard to meet them. But please, meet those deadlines. You'll be happier if you get it done, and get it done early even. So the first thing you want to do when you're thinking about your essay is you want to think about your analysis. So as you're reading your Antigone, say, we're starting with that, what are some of the main ideas addressed here? What are the ideas that sort of leap off the page at you? What do you think about when you read this? Identify some examples that support your understanding of those ideas. Those might be quotes from the play, for example. Maybe even craft a paragraph on each of these ideas, incorporating at least one example to support your idea. Is Antigone a hero? Is Antigone brave? Maybe you have some examples of that. Is Antigone just obnoxious? She is. Maybe you have some examples of that, right? So, and what does that mean? That she's sort of irritating to the people around her, right? She has a certain sense of, the word is hubris. She has a very high opinion of herself, and she's very certain she's right, yeah? So maybe those are some of the things you want to pursue. So craft a paragraph for each of these ideas. Find an example that supports that idea. Here you are, you're taking notes, you're even doing a bit of a rough draft. Finally, in your analysis, how can you relate the ideas that you're kind of keying in on to the creative spirit objectives? Think about that. Keep those creative spirit ideals in mind. Pick any one that you like. You don't have to do them all. Just pick one and run with it. See how it fits with your ideas about Antigone. A second key to a successful critical essay is argument. You want to have one, you want to make one, and you want to support it. So ask yourself, what am I trying to say? Why should anyone believe what I have to say? You want to have a claim. This claim is what you're trying to say. This is your thesis, right? People always say, well, I can't have a thesis. Well, what are you trying to say? That's your thesis. Sometimes this is very simple. I think that Antigone is right because. I think that Antigone is wrong because. So another idea is the author's main point is X. Sophocles, when writing this play, his main goal was this. That can be your claim. Or Sophocles helps us to see how the creative spirit can identify the character of the city. Now we're getting close to our goals for this class. That doesn't have to be your argument for this paper. The point is to make a claim that you can then argue and defend. Right? Your thesis, your claim does not have to be completely original. It doesn't need to be something, it does need to be something interesting, something that's not trivial, something that you've come up with. And it should be something that reasonable people might even disagree with. Otherwise, as Finley has said, why are you writing about it? So, find your thesis. That's the main thing here on this idea of argument. Find your thesis, and then find a way to defend it. So, part two, the part about the part about why anyone should believe you is your argument, right? You're making your case. So you have a claim, and now you're making an argument. An argument is rational. It doesn't flatter your reader. It doesn't mislead. It doesn't trick. It doesn't appeal to just your emotions, right? You want to present evidence. Oftentimes for us, that's going to mean quotes from what you read, right? Or maybe if you've gone out and found a second source, or maybe you like Tim McGee's presentation on Antigone, great, you can use that as a source. Just cite your sources. But use some evidence to support what you're saying. And you'll need to link your evidence with your claim so that no one who accepts the evidence you provide can fail to see how your claim is connected to it, how your claim follows from it, right? So, have an argument as to why your claim is correct. Have some evidence to support that. And then link your evidence. This is your writing. Link your evidence to your claim so that we see why you chose that evidence to support your claim, right? Presentation is also important. So you've got yourself a claim. You've got yourself a good argument. Now, let's present it well. So, now that you know what you've read, now that you know what is important, and you've written a few paragraphs perhaps, or taken some good notes addressing all that, craft an introduction that includes your thesis, that includes your claim. Revise everything you've written. Create transitions from one paragraph to the next. Make a good flow, if you will. Craft a conclusion that reminds your reader of your main points and convinces your reader to accept your argument. Edit carefully. Edit for spelling, word choice, grammar. Make sure that each sentence says what you want it to say. Make sure that each word is the word you really want to use. And then submit, finally, the whole thing on time, right? Get it in on time. You'll feel better about it, and we'll move on to the next thing. If you have any questions at all about how to proceed, how to get going on Antigone, please feel free to please feel free to, edit. Please feel free to email me, contact me, whatever you need. Let me know. I'm happy to help you get started. Thank you very much. And again, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.